Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moment. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Renegade Immortal episode number 521 based on novel. So let's start. Sitting inside the wheel formation, Wang Lin looked outside. Miao Yin and company didn't leave. They thought that with the three of them working together, they could battle against Blue Dream. Li Qianmai had a nervous expression as she watched her father fight the three of them. There was worry in her eyes. Outside the formation, the star system trembled. Blue Dream was fighting three by himself and was remaining calm. Every time he attacked, he released blue light that turned into powerful spells. After watching for a moment, Wang Lin closed his eyes and no longer paid attention to any of this. The thunderous rumbles were blocked from Wang Lin's ears and he focused himself on cultivating. He left a sliver of origin soul around him, so if anything happened, he would know. During the 2 years of healing, Wang Lin had recovered most of his injuries. He had spent most of this time comprehending the tearing the heaven spell from the 8 drops of blood. He had to learn this skill and be proficient in it. Wang Lin had personally experienced the tearing the heaven spell and knew how powerful it was. As for integrating the 8 drops of blood to increase his ancient power, it would take even more time. The current environment wouldn't allow Wang Lin to immerse himself in this, so he delayed it. 3 days of time passed in a flash. Wang Lin seemed to notice something and opened his eyes. The space outside the formation was in tatters and there were many black holes all around. They were created by Blue Dream and company fighting. There were countless dead Joss flame souls floating among the stars. They were like invisible smoke that slowly drifted by. After taking a few glances, Wang Lin could feel how fierce the battle was. He didn't see the other tree, but he saw Blue Dream step into the circle in the formation and arrive before Wang Lin. Dao Master Blue Dream looked tired. It seemed that even for him, battling the three of them was not easy. Miao Yin is seriously injured, so much so that he can't recover to his peak cultivation in 100 years. His cultivation level fell to Spirit Void, so the next time you see him, you can kill him. 9 Heaven's injuries are slightly less severe than Miao Yun's, but his Joss Flame realm was destroyed by me, injuring his mind. In the future, he will not be your match. Great Desolation was injured the most and escaped using a secret spell. He won't last more than 10 years. With that, he sat down and closed his eyes to cultivate. Li Qianmei's expression was complicated. She had witnessed the 3 days of battle. She had watched her father fight and saw the dangers he had faced. Wang Lin silently pondered, and after a long time, he slowly spoke. I already have a wife for my life. Dao Master Blue Dream opened his eyes and stared at Wang Lin. His expression became gloomy. Even with me helping you, you won't change your mind. This old man doesn't want you to give up your wife but to give my daughter a promise. This matter should not be difficult for you. If not for my daughter, even though you've reached the Spirit Void stage and have the ancient inheritance, even though you can kill early stage arcane void cultivators, you wouldn't amount to much in my eyes. You could pull the Li Guangbo to kill these old bones. But even if I die, I won't bring my Blue Silk clan to the inner realm. I, Blue Dream, was born in the ancient star system. I'm one of the 5 masters of the ancient star system. Do you think I would lie to a junior like you? What do you have that would make me want to lie to you? This old man has cultivated for countless years, I won't sink that low. The heaven-defying bead is in your hands. If I were greedy, I would have taken it long ago. You hadn't even reached the 3rd step back then. If this old man wanted to kill you, I could have done so long ago. If not for the matter between you and Qianmai, why would I delay until now? The matter between you and the sovereign, the battle between the inner and outer realms, and the battle between the 7-colored Daoist and Old Ghost John, I could just guard my Blue Silk clan, and no one can force me to join this battle. It is likely that they will even give me favors if I join them. Right now I have given up everything only for you to give my daughter a promise. Wang Lin, don't force me to go too far. Blue Dream stared at Wang Lin and anger appeared in his eyes. Everything he had done was just as he said, for his daughter. Li Qianmai shed tears. She only now understood what her father had done for her, what he had sacrificed. Wang Lin revealed a complicated gaze. He stood up and clasped his hands at Dao Master Blue Dream. Junior doesn't doubt what Senior has done. Don't say more, you. Dao Master Blue Dream saw Li Qianmei's tears and his heart softened. He stared at Wang Lin and swallowed the words he was going to say. This old man can take one step back. I want you to make me a promise. If your wife resurrects, then you and my daughter will become brother and sister, but if your wife can't be resurrected in the end, you will become a Dao couple with my daughter. This is my bottom line. Wang Lin, choose wisely. Dao Master Blue Dream's expression was cold. Wang Lin silently pondered. He stood up and looked into the distance. After a long time, his eyes were filled with confusion as his gaze moved toward Li Qianmei. He saw her tear and how she lowered her head to avoid his gaze. You. Forget it, this old man doesn't want your immediate answer. You think about it and come find me back in the Blue Silk clan. Dao Master Blue Dream stood up and decided not to heal here. When he saw the sadness in his daughter's gaze, he felt a sting in his heart. He had come here with the hope that everything would work out and Wang Lin would agree, but it ended like this. Dad, let us go. Li Qianmei wiped away her tears and gently stood up. She arrived next to Dao Master Blue Dream. Dad, before, Meng didn't understand, but now I do. Let us go home. Once we reach home, let us never leave. Li Qianmei pulled Dao Master Blue Dream's hand and felt the warmth from her father. She looked at Wang Lin and smiled. Wang Lin, can you give back the mountain and river painting you gave me? That painting was called, Forgot Each Other in the World. Back then, she returned it to Wang Lin and chose not to keep it, but today she wanted it back. Wang Lin's mind trembled as he looked at Li Qianmei with pain and struggle in his eyes. His wife was Li Muwen, who had only accompanied him for a few years before death, but her soul had accompanied him for more than 2,000 years. However, Li Qianmei was different from Mu Bingmei and Shi Zifeng. She had sacrificed a lot for Wang Lin. Those 10 years of smearing blood and all those things that happened, how could Wang Lin forget? Her obsession, her love, and her bright smile and eyes. Wang Lin didn't have a heart of stone, how could he remain indifferent? Return it to me, please. Li Qianmei bit her lower lip. Her face was pale, but she kept smiling. She didn't want to shed her endless tears before Wang Lin. Give that painting back to me. Wang Lin, when Li Muwen awakens, you have to bring her to see me. Wang Lin stared at Li Qianmei. His right hand trembled as he raised it up. With a wave, his storage space appeared and a scroll flew out. That scroll contained the Forgot Each Other in the World, mountain and river painting. Wang Lin held the painting, but he didn't have the feeling of relief like when he first gave it to her. He couldn't calmly give it to the woman before him like in the past. Dao Master Blue Dream looked at this and the anger in his eyes turned to sorrow. He looked at Li Qianmei and knew that his daughter's heart was dead. Her heart was dead. Mu Bingmei also watched this unfold. Her mood was complicated and she couldn't bear it anymore. However, she wasn't qualified to persuade Wang Lin, even though she was Wang Ping's mother. Looking at the father of her own child saying farewell to another woman, this made Mu Bingmei feel a stinging pain in her heart. Return it to me, Li Qianmei smiled as she walked before Wang Lin. She looked deeply at Wang Lin's face and raised her jade-like hands to tidy his clothes and hair. The tears hidden under her eyes could no longer be hidden and began to flow. She gently hugged Wang Lin, and her tears fell on his clothes, causing his white robe to become wet. If you don't like me, why did you save me in the Cloud Sea? Wouldn't it have been better for me to die with hope and stay in your memory? Wang Lin, don't understand feelings, Li Qianmei murmured in Wang Lin's ear and left Wang Lin's arms. She grabbed the painting in Wang Lin's hand and was about to pull it out to leave. However, her hands holding the painting suddenly stopped because Wang Lin gripped the painting tightly. Wang Lin closed his eyes, and the painting he held didn't move at all as Li Qianmei pulled. Her face became even more pale as she looked at Wang Lin and saw him open his eyes. You don't need this painting anymore. Wang Lin squeezed and the Forgot Each Other in the World painting collapsed and turned to dust. It disappeared from his hands, her hands. Wang Lin looked at Li Qianmai. His words were filled with determination as he gently said, "From now on, you are my woman. Wano is my wife. When she awakens, let us get married together." Li Qianmai was startled, and after a long time, tears flowed. She began crying in Wang Lin's arms. Wang Lin hugged Li Qianmai. Since he had made this decision, he wouldn't regret it. This was the first woman he had accepted in more than 2,000 years aside from Li Muwen. Her name was Li Qianmai. "Brother, I have 3 questions to ask. Can you help me answer them? When I leave, will you send me off? If one day I die, will you still remember me?" "Wang Lin, I can't hold on much longer. All my blood has dried up. Will you awaken soon?" "I don't regret it. Wang Lin, you have to wait for me to bring back the medicine. You will definitely wake up. Memories are like water in your palm. Although the water will flow away, the palm will remember the temperature of the water. Then, when the palm holds the water again, the palm will remember, and the water will also remember the warmth of the palm." Li Qianmai eventually left with her father, Blue Dream. The 5th concubine was taken away by Blue Dream. They would return to the Blue Silk clan and bring their entire clan back here. They would then pick an area in the Inner Realm to become the new home for the Blue Silk clan. With Dao Master Blue Dream here, although he was injured, there would be no danger unless the Sovereign acted personally. Even the Sovereign wouldn't dare to force Dao Master Blue Dream too much now that his Dao heart was no longer flawed. Because Dao Master Blue Dream could enter Arcane Turbulent as long as he willed it. Once the Arcane Turbulent started, even the Sovereign would have to retreat. Li Qianmai disappeared into the Outer Realm with her father. After the two left, the blue light outside the formation slowly dissipated and the star system became dark again. When Li Qianmai left, she was very happy. Her smile was the same as the past. She looked at Wang Lin with a tender gaze. This was the man she had chosen. She didn't regret it before and she wouldn't regret it now. Even if she were to die because of this, she still wouldn't regret it. This was Li Qianmai's personality. At this moment, inside the wheel formation, only Wang Lin and Mu Bingmai remained. She had witnessed everything that had happened, and her mind was a mess. There were no words that could be said between the two of them. After a long time, Mu Bingmai opened her mouth to break the silence, but Wang Lin had closed his eyes to cultivate and comprehend tearing the heavens. Mu Bingmai's words dissipated in her mouth and she never spoke. Her personality was not the same as Li Qianmai's, she was different from Shizifeng and even from Red Butterfly. She was herself, Mu Bingmai. Soon, 5 months of the last half-year passed, leaving only 1 month. On this day, Mu Bingmai stood up. There was no complication in her eyes, they were clear. She looked at Wang Lin for a long time. "Take care," this was the first thing she said and the only thing. After that, Mu Bingmai turned and walked toward the Brilliant Void. She was the saintess of the Brilliant Void, so she needed to return to the Brilliant Void. It was as if she had accompanied Wang Lin for 11 months just to say that one line. Mu Bingmai left before the year finished. 11 months, still 1 month short. Mu Bingmai remembered this month and placed it to the side. Her lonely figure traversing among the stars looked extremely lonely and bleak. She felt weak, and anyone who saw her would feel their heart ache. She had nothing else, she envied Li Muwen, she also envied Li Qianmai. Li Qianmai still had her father, and Li Muwen had Wang Lin, but she had no one. Her home was gone, her teacher was gone, and all the people she was familiar with, those who accompanied her as she grew up, were all dead. If there was anyone, then it would be Wang Lin. It was a fact that couldn't be changed, as she was Wang Ping's mother. "Even if I die, no one will know. Pinger hates me too." Mu Bingmai's expression became dim as she walked further and further away. It wasn't until Mu Bingmai's figure disappeared that Wang Lin opened his eyes. He looked at where she disappeared to and silently pondered. Wang Lin no longer felt hatred toward Mu Bingmai, but there was also no love. 1 more month, Wang Lin's eyes became serious as he looked at the space before him. He raised his right hand and pointed to the spot between his eyebrows. With this, Wang Lin trembled and popping sounds echoed inside his body. As the popping sounds echoed, Wang Lin's body became blurry and turned illusory. It was as if two Wang Lin were overlapping, and the overlapping became unstable due to that point. After a few breaths, the figure distorted and another Wang Lin appeared. The overlapping figure separated and the popping sounds were gone. The blur disappeared and two identical Wang Lins appeared. The one sitting there was Wang Lin's original body. The one with the ancient god, ancient demon, and ancient devil stars that has the inheritance of the ancient one. The one standing was his cultivator body. There was a period of time where Wang Lin was always like this. His original body cultivated, while his avatar went out. This way, he cultivated both at the same time. It had been a long time since he did this, but now his avatar was out again. His original body and avatar looked at each other. A moment later, his avatar disappeared and went into the inner realm. His original body closed his eyes and sat inside the formation to guard for the last month. Wang Lin walked through the star system in a white robe. At this moment, he no longer had a powerful physical body, but his cultivation level was still mid-stage spirit void. This was something that wouldn't change. Him right now was a pure cultivator. He would be unable to kill enemies with his body, he would have to rely on his spells. This is the last month before the 4 great generals come out of the ancient celestial realm, and there is still something I have to do. I need to reform the 4 great celestial realms into a new celestial realm. From now on, the inner realm cultivators will live in the celestial realm and will be able to condense Joss flames. All the cultivators born from now on can cultivate to become celestials. After they reach the soul formation stage, they can go to the celestial realm to cultivate. Wang Lin's expression was solemn as he moved through the inner realm. Throughout the ages, only the previous Lord of the Sealed Realm had done this. He had created the 4 celestial realms so that the inner realm cultivators could gather Joss flames. However, when he died, the 4 celestial realms collapsed and the inner realm could no longer gather Joss flames. However, now it was different. Wang Lin had destroyed the realm sealing formation and the aura of the ancient star system had flooded in. The limitation on Joss flames in the inner realm was gone, and now was the best time to reform the celestial realm. Before him, there were others that wanted to do this, but the conditions were not right. They didn't have the Lord of the Sealed Realm's treasure, and at that time, the realm sealing formation hadn't been weakened enough. Wang Lin stepped forward. The first place he went to was the Wind Celestial Realm in the Cloud Sea. The Wind Celestial Realm was well preserved and occupied by a large amount of mosquito beasts. Wang Lin's cultivation level back then wasn't high enough to shake that realm, but now he could. Also, thanks to his connection, Wang Lin knew that the mosquito beasts that had separated from him during the battle back then had survived and settled down in the Wind Celestial Realm. With a step, ripples echoed and Wang Lin disappeared. When he reappeared, he was deep in the Cloud Sea at the entrance to the Wind Celestial Realm. Returning to a familiar place, Wang Lin entered the rift and rushed into the Wind Celestial Realm. The knife-like wind howled through the Wind Celestial Realm. The sobbing of the wind was the only sound here. The desolate wind moved through the sky. The dust on the earth was peeled layer by the wind until there wasn't any dust left. After a sweep of his divine sense, Wang Lin charged forward without hesitation, his white hair waving as he moved. The wind was unable to stop Wang Lin, and not only could it not stop him, but the wind collapsed before him. Deep in the Wind Celestial Realm, there was a continent where the wind was stronger than everywhere else. There were 2 groups of mosquito beasts there, and they were slaughtering each other. Each of these 2 groups of mosquito beasts numbered in the tens of thousands, and as they fought, large amounts of casualties piled up. However, those that died were all from one group. The other group revealed bloodthirsty expressions as their mouths stabbed into the others' bodies. This group of mosquito beasts was actually unscathed. In just a moment, the flock of mosquito beasts that died and suffered heavy casualties let out mournful cries and retreated in defeat. This group of ferocious mosquitoes rushed out and surrounded them. A golden mosquito beast over 1,000 feet long that was as big as a small mountain flew out from a distant peak. The moment this mosquito appeared, a powerful pressure spread out. It looked ferocious and had a sharp mouth more than 100 feet long. When it appeared, it was as if the king had arrived. The giant mosquito beast rushed out into the group of retreating mosquito beasts. It rampaged through and was extremely fierce. Miserable screams echoed, and in a few short breaths, several thousand mosquitoes died. As the mosquito swarm behind the giant mosquito rushed out, it wasn't long before the mosquito swarm that had tens of thousands all died. Not one escaped. The giant mosquito beast was covered in the blood of its fellow clan members. There was sadness hidden in its cold eyes. In this 100-year period, it had always been sad because it couldn't find its master. It could only kill to vent its sorrow. The giant mosquito let out a sharp hiss. This was not out of excitement but a mournful cry like an abandoned child crying at the heavens. As it hissed, the surrounding mosquito swarm also hissed. The sounds of their hisses linked together was heaven-shattering. As they hissed, a large amount of mosquito beasts flew off from this continent and quickly escaped. Some of them had very large bodies, but they also escaped in fear. In their memory, in these past 100 years, there was a group of mosquito beasts that was extremely crazy. They continued to kill and grow stronger. Whenever they came to a new continent, they would do the same and kill. If you didn't leave, they would do whatever it took to kill you. However, just at this moment, the giant mosquito beast suddenly trembled and its roar completely collapsed. It trembled as the coldness in its eyes collapsed and was replaced with a sense of confusion that had disappeared for 100 years. The confusion was soon turned into excitement. The giant mosquito moved with excitement and joy. It let out another hiss and flew into the distance like it had gone crazy. It was as if it had suddenly felt its master's aura after being separated for a long time. It had forgotten everything and went crazy trying to find that aura. Wang Lin was in the air in the wind celestial realm. He turned to the left and revealed a happy smile. The wind to his left howled and a black line rushed toward him. This black line was tens of thousands of mosquito beasts, forming a shocking sight. At the front was the ferocious mosquito beast that was thousands of feet tall. Its eyes were filled with excitement, and when it saw Wang Lin, its body began to tremble. A sharp roar echoed as the mosquito beast rushed forward, directly colliding with Wang Lin. The wind created by its movements was like knives on Wang Lin's face. In particular, the scene of it charging forward was enough to terrify anyone who saw it. This mosquito beast was already accustomed to Wang Lin's powerful body, so it rushed forward in excitement. Wang Lin could only let out a wry smile. He was only here with his avatar, so he couldn't withstand the mosquito beast's fierce embrace. Wang Lin raised his right hand and gently patted forward. A ripple echoed and surrounded the mosquito beast as it closed it. This caused the mosquito beast to slow down. The mosquito beast let out an excited hiss when it arrived next to Wang Lin. Its mouth started to rub Wang Lin, and deep inside its excited gaze lay a deep sense of attachment. Wang Lin was indeed its master, but he was more like a parent. This thought was already deeply engraved into the mosquito beast's soul and would never disappear. As it rubbed Wang Lin with its mouth, the mosquito beast let out whimper, as if it was complaining about Wang Lin taking so long to come and find it. Wang Lin laughed and was very happy. In a flash, he stood on the mosquito beast and looked ahead. He saw tens of thousands of mosquito beasts surrounding him. Some obviously knew Wang Lin, but those that joined later looked at Wang Lin with puzzled gazes. Wang Lin's heart was filled with joy after reuniting with the Mosquito King that had accompanied him for so long. He had been lonely all his life and only had a few fierce beasts with him. This mosquito beast had been with him the longest. Wang Lin patted the Mosquito King's big head and smiled. "You seem a lot more powerful than before." The Mosquito King let out a roar and revealed a smug expression. Its roar seemed to be telling Wang Lin of its experience over the last 100 years, but unfortunately, Wang Lin couldn't understand it. However, Wang Lin had watched it grow up, and after pondering for a bit, he guessed a few things. "Okay, take me to the deepest part of the wind celestial realm." Wang Lin smiled. The Mosquito King's eyes lit up and it went on its way. It moved in a flash and quickly shot forward. The tens of thousands of mosquito beasts quickly followed, and the storm of mosquito beasts charged forward. The Mosquito King's speed was much faster than before. As Wang Lin stood on its back, he took a closer look. His eyes revealed a strange light. Although the mosquito beast wasn't weak back then, it was nowhere near as strong as it was now. It was infinitely close to a third-step cultivator, as powerful as a fifth heaven's blight cultivator. This change surprised Wang Lin greatly. It seemed as if the mosquito beast was just one step away from transforming into a terrifying force like a third-step cultivator. This was beyond Wang Lin's expectation. What kind of fortune did it obtain to progress so much? While Wang Lin was pondering, the mosquito beast let out a roar as it flew past across countless fragments. It seemed very familiar with this place, and it brought Wang Lin to the depths of the wind celestial realm. Wang Lin had been here once before, and he immediately saw the thick fog ahead. There was a giant rift inside the fog. This rift led to an unknown place and gave off a cold aura. There were several continents below the fog, and they remained the same. One of the continents had a human-shaped statue before. However, there was no trace of that statue now. The corpse of a mosquito beast 10 of thousands of feet tall laid on top of a continent. Its eyes were open, but there were no light in them, and death aura filled its body. When Wang Lin saw this, his eyes narrowed. The Mosquito King led Wang Lin into the fog and landed next to the corpse. Its mouth stabbed into the corpse, and as it inhaled, its body gave off a golden glow. The tens of thousands of mosquito beasts surrounded them, but none of them dared to come forward and absorb. Wang Lin jumped down and stood beside the corpse of the mosquito beast. This mosquito beast had been dead for many years, but its body had not rotten. Instead, it seemed dried up, but it still contained the essence of the mosquito beast. Although it had died, it still gave off a powerful pressure. Wang Lin could clearly feel this pressure, and it was similar to the pressure a third-step cultivator would give off. After carefully observing it for a bit, Wang Lin saw the fatal injury that caused its death on its neck. The injury was 3 holes, each the size of a finger. If one didn't look closely, it would be extremely difficult to find this injury. Wang Lin's pupils shrank and he arrived beside the wound. He looked at it for a very long time before he slowly stuck 3 fingers into those 3 small holes. They fit very well. These 3 small holes were indeed made by 3 fingers penetrating through. What kind of spell could kill this beast with 3 fingers? Wang Lin's eyes lit up. He had seen this beast before. It was the giant mosquito beast that had struggled to fly out of the rift. Its size was different from before, but its aura was extremely similar. 3 fingers. The aura from the 3 fingers that remain on this beast feel vaguely familiar. I feel like I have sensed this somewhere before. The mosquito beast beside Wang Lin withdrew its mouth from the mosquito corpse, looking very satisfied. It looked at Wang Lin before flying up into the air and pointing its mouth at the giant rift inside the fog. Wang Lin raised his head and his eyes lit up as he looked at the rift in the fog. The Mosquito King let out a hiss and flew toward the rift. Wang Lin stepped forward, following the Mosquito King, and they both arrived at the edge of the rift at the same time. Although it was inside the fog, the coldness that came from the rift caused Wang Lin to become alert. He didn't immediately enter. In truth, he hadn't come to the wind celestial realm to investigate this rift. However, now that he was here and had seen the mosquito corpse along with the familiar aura from the 3 fingers, Wang Lin started to feel doubt toward this rift. What exactly was inside this rift? This was the first time Wang Lin had observed this giant rift up close. As he observed, Wang Lin slowly found something to be wrong. The edge of the rift had jagged edges, but there were marks showing that they used to be connected at some parts. While pondering, Wang Lin waved his right hand and a jade appeared in his grasp. He squeezed and a cracking sound came from the jade. The jade split in half, and there were irregular edges along the crack. When he put the 2 pieces of jade back together, it was complete once more. Then Wang Lin injected some of his cultivation into the jade and glued it back together. Now he could only see some fine cracks. Staring at the jade, Wang Lin's eyes lit up and he squeezed it again. The jade split in half once more. Some of the glued-together parts separated, but new edges also formed. Holding the jade, Wang Lin took a few close looks, then he looked at the edges of the giant rift once more. His eyes slowly became bright. It's very similar. This rift must have been ripped open then mended back together, but later it was torn apart again. As a result, these edges were crafted. The second time it was ripped open was during the collapse of the Wind Celestial Realm, making it a haven for the mosquito beasts. Then, when was the first time the rift was opened? Who opened it? A hiss interrupted Wang Lin's thoughts. Wang Lin's mosquito beasts was wandering outside the rift and looked like it really wanted to go in. It looked back at Wang Lin with an eager expression. Forget it, let us go inside and see. Wang Lin looked at the mosquito beast and nodded. The mosquito beast let out a hiss and then flew inside the rift. From its movement, this wasn't its first time going inside, it seemed like it had gone inside more than once over the last 100 years. Wang Lin raised his foot, but he was extremely cautious. This caution had accompanied him for his entire life and would not decrease due to the increase in his cultivation level. The higher his cultivation level, the more he understood how mysterious the world was. After entering the rift, a cold aura surrounded him. Wang Lin's eyes narrowed and he activated his cultivation. He didn't spread out his divine sense but swept the area with his eyes. With one sweep, he was frozen and his eyes shined brightly. The inside of the rift was a bright world with large, glowing ovals. These ovals were countless mosquito beast eggs. The mosquito eggs filled the area and were filled with mosquito beasts waiting to awaken. At a glance, there were millions. The deeper one went, the more eggs there were, and the larger they were. There were even eggs thousands of feet large, and the mosquito beasts inside emitted a golden glow. They had completely taken form and seemed ready to wake up. The moment Wang Lin's mosquito beast entered, it let out a cheerful hiss and rushed toward a string of eggs. Its huge mouth stuck into an egg and sucked everything from it. As Wang Lin looked at all of this, he understood why his mosquito beast had changed so much. It was all because of this place. What is this place? Wang Lin spread out his divine sense as he silently pondered. He slowly expanded his divine sense until it shrouded this whole area. When his divine sense spread out, he instantly saw this whole place. At this moment, his eyes were filled with shock. He subconsciously took a few steps back and suddenly looked up. This video will end here.